I really want to talk about insulin because
Mm-hmm.
insulin resistance, and one thing for myself, and I've started taking a supplement called berberine, which I have to tell you has changed my life. Jen, changed my life because 100% I was on the road to that insulin resistance. And now taking berberine has literally, from a weight perspective, but also blood sugar balance. Oh my gosh. We're going to put links below to everything that Jen has mentioned today, and the same thing that we're talking about, so that way you can easily find them. But talk about insulin resistance and the importance of that blood sugar balance, because this is one of my favorite topics to talk about.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, listen, it is important from the time we are born all the way through. It's, if you have kids who are having tantrums and that, the first question you need to ask yourself is, are they thirsty and are they hungry? Because if blood sugar is unbalanced in any of us, we know this is where the term hangry comes from. And so it's really important that you start your day off when you do begin to consume food in a blood sugar balanced way, because you can't catch up with it at night. Okay? It'll find you. It'll find you in your sleep. So I really love, and again, I don't know you, I don't know your health history and what's going on, but if we don't get our blood sugar under control, it will be the thread that is being pulled in every other capacity of your health. It'll impact how much cortisol your body will produce, adrenaline you'll produce, your satiation hormones, leptin and ghrelin, those cravings that you just can't seem to manage. It's not your self-control, it is your hormones. They are running the dashboard. And so if you can try to think about every meal that you have, do I have fat, fiber, and protein at every single meal? PFF, protein, fat, and fiber. That's how you can remember it. Typically, what I would recommend, again, I don't know if you're a shift worker, what your lifestyle is you have 3 meals a day, possibly a snack in the afternoon. One of the problems is that people have, because years ago, the information that was out was eat 6 small meals a day. It stokes your metabolic system. What we now know is what we were stoking was the insulin fire. We were constantly producing insulin, which has created a lot of people to now be hypoglycemic, which means you can't go more than a couple hours without getting a headache, feeling shaky, nauseous, and unwell. If you have those symptoms, listen to what I'm saying. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, probably a snack in the afternoon, but something small. And the reason I say that is most people are going 6 hours, maybe 7 between lunch and dinner. You need something to anchor you around probably 3 or 4 o'clock. If not, you will, as you're making dinner, inhale whatever else is not nailed down, and then also eat dinner. So you're having 2 meals. You're also less likely, when you get into that low blood sugar state, your body is not like, I need a salad so bad right now. Your body is like, where's the baker's chocolate? Where are the sweets? Like, you'll even go for gross things just because you are so hungry.
Chocolate bars, the candies, whatever it is, right?
Any of it, carbohydrates, crackers. Yeah. Anything. And this is the thing, is we're looking for something that's going to break down quickly, because your body is it's going low and it's looking for a drug. It needs a pick me up. So you have to get in front of this. So start your day off. Do not start your day off with a bagel and butter or, cereal by itself. You have to, again, where's the protein, the fat, and the fiber? Every single meal, and staying hydrated as well too. So it's really important. And I promise you, if you can do this, if you can try this out, a little social experiment for the next 7 days, 3 meals a day, possibly that snack in the afternoon. Try to shorten the eating window. So you're really only eating over maybe like a 10-hour period, which would look like maybe you eat from, 8 in the morning until 6 p.m. at night. Did I just do that math correct? Yeah, that's 10 hours. Math on the spot.
Good.
So you shorten your eating window, but you're very purposeful about what you're putting into your body. Your bloating is going to decrease. Your sleep is going to improve. Those pounds that you're seeing, like Andrea is saying, 7 to 10 pounds overnight is going to be less. Your joint pain and inflammation is going to be less, and your cravings are going to calm themselves down.
And one thing I've noticed in being, a nutritionist, and I'm always experimenting with things that I'm eating. And I went off meat, probably a year and a half ago, even a little bit more. And I didn't eat any meat because I was having some issues with some allergies, or I guess intolerances. And I just reintroduced meat into my diet. Now, again, this isn't for everybody. And whether you follow a keto diet, whether you're vegan, whether you're vegetarian, there is zero judgment, never judgment in anything that we do. But one thing that's worked for me is reintroducing some foods that I hadn't really been eating for a long time. And I'll tell you, Jen, it made a huge difference for me. So talking about that protein and making sure that I'm always eating some type of protein, whether it's meat, whether it's vegan protein, whatever it is you're eating, having that protein, having that soluble fiber. sun fiber, like one of my absolute all-time favorite fibers, and it has no taste and it dissolves into your liquid. I put it into every morning. I put it into like my tea. So these are really important things because, and the fiber, they help to slow down that blood sugar spike and then fall. So everything you're saying, it makes so much sense. What I want to understand, and I think the importance is really understanding how that affects us in perimenopause and menopause, and why is it important specifically at this time of our life to make sure that our blood sugar is balanced, not only for weight gain, but for other things as well.
Well, you are more vulnerable for diabetes when you go into menopause. So this is really important. You are also more vulnerable for different forms of cancer and autoimmune conditions and different degenerative diseases. And sugar suppresses your immune system, and sugar is the driving force behind every level of inflammation in our body. So because I do blood work analysis in my practice, I'm reading blood labs every single day. And I can tell you, out of every 10 women whose labs I read, 9 of them actually have unstable blood sugar where they've been told everything is fine. Everything is fine. Yet they have every sign and symptom, and the data is actually right there. But because they're in the reference ranges, everything is fine. So getting your fasting glucose measured, looking at your HbA1c, very important, ladies. This is really like, if you are, again, we talked about the weight perspective, but if you're struggling with sleep, joint pain, inflammation, mood swings, headaches, all of these different issues happening, and you know that you're really honest about yourself, that you're not getting that protein in. Like, when I talk to most women and I say, well, where's your protein coming from in the day? Well, I have nut butter on my toast. I have some nuts or seeds on my salad. I'm like, that's a fat. That has a little bit of protein, but that's not what we're talking about. There has to be a substantial amount. If we want to be getting in a minimum of like 0.68 grams of protein per pound that you weigh, I say for the average woman, if you can just use the target of 100 grams of protein a day, start to track this, not to become obsessive over it, but to become aware. We need to become aware of what we're putting in our body and not looking at the amount of calories that we are consuming, but what is the food that you're eating made up of? Like, what are its ingredients, but then what are the macronutrients that are supporting the micronutrients? The macros are your carbs, fats, and proteins. That's what your food is made up of. The micronutrition, the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, the polyphenols, that's what we want to pull from the macros. We have to be looking at this cohesively as opposed to counting our calories or only tracking one macro, right? So it is, I'm like Andrea, I'm not for any one hashtag way of eating. I'm for the individual, but we as individuals need to become more educated on the things that we need to pay attention to. So another little experiment for yourself this week is, can you consistently get 100 grams of good quality protein every day in your body?
And I like that experiment. And it really changed how I felt, and it changed my energy levels. It changed a lot for me. And just a simple little tweak like that and made a big difference. If you got value out of today's interview, please share it and give us a big thumbs up, because we want to be able to educate as many women as we can, even men, on menopause and perimenopause. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Be well.